Morning, ladies and gents. So, just to recap the loan table using the end of month repayment method. So, as you can see, the table is done, right? Few things that you need to know. The opening balance, it's always, as you can see here, let me quickly change that. It's 80% of the price because you have to pay a deposit, or if you don't want to use the 80%, you can simply say it's equal to the price of the car, as you can see here, minus the price of the car multiplied by the interest that's being charged, right? Which give you the 71,600. That's one option. And that opening balance is also known as the loan amount. Why is it called a loan amount? You were short of that amount. You went to a finance institution for them to help you, them to borrow you that portion, right? That's why it's called a loan amount. And that's what you will use in case you ever been asked to work out your repayment. That's what you're going to use to work out your repayment, your monthly repayment, by dividing that amount, 71,600, by 1,000. You have to divide by 1,000. I have to multiply by the factor. And I explained to you where does the factor come. The factor come from a table that will be again provided to you. What do you need to work in that factor? You need the interest rate. In our case here, the interest rate was 11.5% per year. You can see here, the table doesn't have it here, but your table probably have 11.5%. So you have to take that and you have to look at the period. Like for example, if it's 15 years and 11.25, you see your factor will be 11.52. So that's how your repayment is calculated, but you are lucky enough because it's often given to you in your table. So now the next thing that you need to know is the interest is a percentage of the opening balance. As you can see here, to work out the interest every single time, we used to take the opening balance, as you can see here, multiply by the interest rate that was given. I show you both methods using the cell or entering the interest rate straight. As you can see here, I've entered my interest calculation as being the opening balance, which was the amount here, 68,814.58, yes, multiplied by 11.5% over 12. That also gave me the interest amount for the month number 3. I also told you how the opening balance, sorry, the balance with interest is the opening balance plus the interest amount. And I also show you that the closing balance, it's equal to the balance with interest minus the repayment, as you can see here, right? And the same thing here. Now the next thing that I told you about this table is the fact that the closing balance, it's automatically the opening balance of the following month. It makes sense. What you owe the bank at the end of the 31st of June will be exactly the same that you owe them at the beginning of February. If you owe them 10,000 on the 31st of March, that's exactly what you're going to owe them on the 1st of April. So closing balance uh, amount, it's automatically the opening balance amount for the following month. So now, as per the last 2 months, as we discussed, I told you that this figure is always given to you because you don't have month number 58. So you need to have the closing balance of month number 58 to be able to have the opening. It's given to you. So you just have to pay from the calculation as per the balance with interest. You have to pay from the calculation with the deposit. Sorry, with the balance with interest. And you have to work out a closing balance. It becomes interesting all the way to when you get to the balance with interest for the last month. And I say whatever the figure is there on the balance with interest for the last month must be your repayment, right? We were fortunate in this exercise that it's exactly equal to what we have been paying, but often it's more. Often, instead of having 1,500, we could have 1,008, we could have 2,000. Do not make the mistake of using your previous repayment. Your repayment in month number 60 or on the last month must be equal to your balance with interest so that you can have a closing balance of 0. If you do not have the same amount, you have a balance of less than 0 here, or more than 0, sorry, and that's going to be a problem because you are supposed to pay off your loan by the last month. So that is all for me from my side. I will see you on the next clip so we can discuss the case on the repayment at the beginning of the month. See you soon.